$35 million, 7 bedrooms, 12 bathrooms, a hand-painted dome ceiling, and a secret glass greenhouse. This is the most jaw-dropping celebrity mansion of the year, and it belongs to Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco. But the story behind this mansion is far more shocking than you thought. Let's get into it. The crown jewel. Picture this, a quiet street in Beverly Hills. The kind of street where the trees are older than your grandparents and the houses don't have numbers you can read from the road. And tucked behind a wall of mature greenery sits a Spanish-style dream that two of the most famous people on the planet now call home. This is the house that love built. Or, well, the house that love bought for a cool $35 million. Let me take you inside. In December of 2024, right around the time they let the world in on their engagement, Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco purchased a Spanish-style Beverly Hills estate for $35 million. And here's the part that makes real estate agents lose sleep at night. This wasn't a house you could find on Zillow. This wasn't a listing you could scroll past while eating cereal. No, the purchase was an off-market deal and one of the pricier transactions in Beverly Hills that year. Off-market means hush-hush. It means a handshake behind closed doors. It means money talking in a language most of us will never speak. But before this house belonged to a pop superstar and a hit-making producer. It belonged to someone you've definitely heard of. The man who gave us The Hangover. The man who gave us Joker. That's right. The property was previously owned by director Todd Phillips, who bought it in 2012 for $17.25 million and sold it in 2021 for $31 million. So in just under a decade, this house nearly doubled in value. And then Selena and Benny came along and pushed it even higher. Now here's where the story gets a little romantic, a little historic, and honestly, a little jaw-dropping. Because this isn't some cookie-cutter mansion thrown up last year by a developer chasing a quick flip. This house has roots, deep ones. It was originally designed in 1928 by architect Wallace Neff and has been meticulously restored and expanded while preserving historic charm with modern updates. If that name doesn't ring a bell, let me put it this way. Wallace Neff was basically the architect to the stars back in old Hollywood. The man practically invented the look you think of when you imagine California luxury. So this house, it's been whispering elegance for nearly 100 years, and now two modern megastars get to be the ones writing its next chapter. Let's talk about the size, because the numbers here are almost hard to believe. The home spans roughly 70 to 90+ square feet of living space, sitting on a rare double lot of nearly an acre in the coveted Beverly Hills flats. A double lot in the flats. Do you understand how rare that is? Land in this part of Beverly Hills is basically liquid gold. Most celebrities are squeezed onto tight little plots and praying their neighbor doesn't peek over the fence. But Selena and Benny, they've got nearly an acre of breathing room in the most expensive zip code in the game. And inside those walls, the space just keeps going. The estate boasts 7 bedrooms and 12 bathrooms, with a mix of full and half baths, plus guest houses or multiple structures. Read that again, 12 bathrooms. That's almost 2 bathrooms for every bedroom. You could use a different bathroom every single day for nearly 2 weeks and still not run out. It's the kind of detail that sounds absurd until you remember these two host some of the biggest names in entertainment. Now let me paint you the picture of the style, because this is where it really starts to feel like a fairy tale. The home is Spanish-inspired with classic elements like tiled roofs, arched details, stucco exteriors, and elegant interiors that blend warmth and opulence. Imagine warm terracotta. Imagine archways that curve like something out of a dream. Imagine sunlight pouring through windows onto stucco walls that have stood for almost a century. This isn't cold, modern glass box luxury. This is the kind of home that hugs you when you walk in. And then there's the inside. Oh, the inside. The moment you step through the door, you're greeted by a grand spiral or swirling staircase that twists upward like something out of a storybook. And look up. That winding staircase is crowned with a hand-painted dome ceiling. A hand-painted dome. Somebody at some point lay on their back and painted the ceiling above this staircase by hand. That's not a feature, that's a piece of art you happen to live underneath. But we're just getting started. Let's walk through this house room by room, because every single one of them is a flex. There's a wood-paneled private library, the kind of room where you can practically smell the leather books and old wisdom. There's a chef-worthy kitchen, which, if you know anything about this couple, is basically the heart of the whole home. These two live to cook. We'll get to that. There are multiple living rooms, some described as mirrored, so the space feels endless, like it goes on forever. And for movie night, they don't head to the theater comes to them. The estate features a home theater, or movie room, and not just any old screening room either. There's a plush red theater with its own fireplace, a deep, velvety red room with a fire crackling while you watch your favorite film. That's the kind of detail that turns a house into an experience. Need to work out? There's a private gym or fitness center. Need to unwind? There's a spa. And for the artist who never stops creating, there's a studio, a fairy tale style playroom, and various living areas scattered throughout. A fairy tale playroom. Let that sit with you for a second. This house has whimsy built right into its bones. Now let's step outside, because the grounds might just be the best part of the whole property. The resort-like grounds emphasize privacy, greenery, and entertainment. There's a large swimming pool with surrounding patios and lounging areas, the kind of pool that makes you want to cancel all your plans and just float. There are lush, manicured gardens and landscaping, a gated entry with mature trees and privacy features, and expansive outdoor spaces, perfect for relaxation and hosting. But there's one outdoor feature that's so specific, so personal, that it tells you everything about the man who lives here. There's a glass greenhouse solarium, noted as a nod to Benny Blanco's interest in gardening and plants. The hitmaker behind some of the biggest songs of the last 15 years likes to garden. And so this $35 million estate has an actual glass greenhouse, just so he can tend to his plants. If that doesn't humanize the whole thing, I don't know what does. And here's a little touch of the romantic. The primary suite isn't just a bedroom. It comes with a private covered balcony and a luxurious tiled bathroom complete with a soaking tub and glass shower. Imagine waking up, stepping onto your own private balcony, the California morning rolling in over your nearly acre of gardens. That's the everyday reality for these two now. So how did this house become their house? Why this one out of every mansion in Los Angeles? Well, it comes down to who these two are when the cameras are off. They value privacy. They value normalcy. They often post affectionate but grounded content, choosing cozy nights in over flashy nights out. And after the purchase, they appear to have consolidated here, using it as their main base. This isn't just one of many homes they bounce between. This is the one. This is home base. And as for how Benny feels about the woman he shares it with, he's never been shy about it. He's called her a real-life Disney princess. A real-life Disney princess living in a fairy tale Spanish estate with a hand-painted dome and a fairy tale playroom. You honestly couldn't write it better if you tried. But here's the thing. A house this expensive, this historic, this perfect, doesn't just fall into your lap. It takes two enormous fortunes, two incredible careers, and one love story for the ages to make it happen. And that's exactly where we're headed next. The empire behind the estate. So a $35 million mansion doesn't buy itself. Behind that off-market handshake are two people who clawed, hustled, and created their way to the top of two completely different worlds. And when you understand where their money actually comes from, the house starts to make a lot more sense. Let's start with Selena. Most people know her as the Disney kid who became a pop star, but the real story is way bigger than that. Selena Gomez was born on July 22, 1992, in Grand Prairie, Texas, and she's grown into an actress, singer, songwriter, producer, and businesswoman. And honestly, that list barely covers it. She got her start as a little kid. She appeared on Barney Friends from 2002 to 2004, gaining early experience alongside Demi Lovato. Yes, that Barney, the big purple dinosaur. That's where it all began. But her real breakthrough came in 2007. That's when she starred as Alex Russo on the Disney Channel sitcom Wizards of Waverly Place, which ran until 2012 and made her a teen idol. From there, she did what almost no child star ever pulls off. She grew up without falling off. She went solo in music, and her debut solo album Stars Dance in 2013 debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200. #1, right out of the gate, and the hits kept coming. Her 2020 album Rare produced her first Hot 100 #1 single, Lose You to Love Me. But music was only one lane, because she pivoted into serious acting too. Since 2021, she's starred as Mabel Mora in Hulu's Only Murders in the Building, alongside Steve Martin and Martin Short, earning Emmy nominations, Golden Globe nods, and a SAG award for the ensemble. The Disney kid is now an Emmy-nominated actress, sharing the screen with comedy legends. Keep that detail in your back pocket, because those two legends show up again later in this story in a way you won't expect. Now here's the real engine behind her fortune, the thing that turned her from rich to potentially a billionaire. In 2020, she launched launched Rare Beauty, a makeup brand focused on accessible, inclusive products, and it donates 1% of sales to mental health causes through the Rare Impact Fund. And it didn't just do okay. Rare Beauty valuations have reached around $2 to $27 billion, with strong revenue growth, and she retains majority ownership of around 51%. So how rich is she, really? Estimates for Selena Gomez's net worth as of 2026 range from around $700 million on the conservative end to $1 to $13 billion, with some reports citing up to $15 billion, and the vast majority of that comes from her stake in Rare Beauty. The makeup brand, not the music, made her a mogul, and through all of it, she kept her head. Her career demonstrates resilience, navigating lupus, bipolar disorder, and public scrutiny while evolving from teen stardom to entrepreneurial powerhouse. She underwent a kidney transplant in 2017 and turned her struggles into advocacy. The princess, it turns out, is also a fighter. Now let's flip the script to Benny, because Benny Blanco's story is a completely different kind of hustle. He was born Benjamin Joseph Levin on March 8, 1988, in Reston, Virginia, and he's a record producer, songwriter, music executive, and author. And the kid was obsessed with music basically from birth. As a baby and toddler, he banged on pots and pans, and around age 5 or 6, he began making little songs with a boombox, layering recordings by playing one track and recording over it on another. But here's what makes his come-up legendary. The man was relentless. During high school, he used the school library's internet to share his music on MySpace, and he cold-called record executives, sometimes pretending to be a lawyer to get through. It gets crazier. He even slept in a McDonald's in Times Square during weekend trips to New York to chase meetings, sleeping in a fast food restaurant just for a shot. That's hunger you can't fake. And by the way, that name, it's a movie reference. His stage name Benny Blanco references the John Leguizamo character from Carlito's Way, a nod to him being a white rapper. Because before he was a producer, he wanted to rap. Life had other plans. The hustle paid off in a huge way. Under the mentorship of Dr. Luke, starting in 2008, he co-produced and co-wrote early hits like Britney Spears' Circus, Katy Perry's I Kissed a Girl, and Hot and Cold, and Kesha's Tick Tock. Those are songs that defined an entire era, and he was in the room making them happen before most people even knew his name. Then he broke out on his own. By the early 2010s, he had Maroon 5's moves like Jagger and Payphone, Gym Class Heroes, Stereo Hearts, Rihanna's Diamonds, and Tayo Cruz's Dynamite. Look at that list. You've sung every single one of those songs in a car at some point in your life. That's how deep his fingerprints go in modern music. The accolades back it up. He has around 29 #1 songs as a writer or producer, more than 11 Grammy nominations including Producer of the Year, and contributions to over 500 million units sold. And his net worth? Benny's is roughly $50 million from his production hits. So when you put the two of them together, combined they exceed $135 billion, supporting their properties and lifestyle. Now that $35 million mansion starts to look downright reasonable, doesn't it? But money is only half the story. The other half is love, and theirs is one of the sweetest you'll ever hear. These two were friends first, colleagues, collaborators. They began dating privately around mid-2023, near her birthday after years of platonic friendship as music industry colleagues, and the first date, Selena made the move. Benny has shared that Selena made the first move by casually asking him to dinner, and he initially didn't realize it was a date until Selena commented that she would have worn something different if she had known it was one. He didn't even know it was a date. That's how casual and natural it was. That dinner happened at Jitlada Thai restaurant on Sunset Boulevard, where they enjoyed dishes including shrimp curry, sometimes referred to as first date shrimp. And here's the full circle magic. In March 2025, the couple romantically revisited the spot to recreate the meal, cooking with chef-owner Jazz Singsanong, tying it to their joint album I Said I Love You First. The restaurant even inspired their song Sunset Boulevard. They literally turned their first date into a song, and then came the wedding, the crown on top of it all. Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco married on September 27, 2025, in a star-studded multi-day celebration in the Santa Barbara and Montecito area, primarily at Seacrest Nursery, a private 70-acre estate and garden nursery in Goleta. Picture lush palm trees, towering cycads, and rolling foothill views. The event was intimate yet lavish, with around 170 to 200 guests and custom-built venues and tents across the grounds for privacy. And it wasn't just one day, it was a 3-day affair. Friday was a rehearsal dinner where Only Murders in the Building co-stars Steve Martin and Martin Short gave a joint speech. Remember those two comedy legends from earlier? They came to celebrate. Saturday brought the emotional ceremony and reception, with custom vows that were both funny and sentimental. A 26-piece live band, sushi and oyster bars, and dancing that went past 4 a.m. And Sunday wrapped it up with a casual backyard brunch, with Blanco reportedly in slippers. After all that production, the man just wanted to be comfortable, relatable. The fashion was a dream. Selena wore multiple custom Ralph Lauren looks, including a halter-neck satin and embroidered gown with a train for the ceremony, while Benny wore a classic black Ralph Lauren tux. The food was world-class. Michelin-starred chef Wolfgang Puck handled the menu, and they tasted dishes together at Spago beforehand. And the guest list? Unreal. Speeches came from Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, and the Parents, while Mark Ronson DJ'd at points. This was the celebration of two empires becoming one family. And once the music stopped and the slippers came off, they had a whole portfolio of homes to figure out, which is exactly where Part 3 takes us. The property web. So we know about the crown jewel, the $35 million Beverly Hills estate. But that's just the headliner. Behind it sits a whole web of properties, sold mansions, kept homes, and one heartbreaking loss. And together, they tell you who these two really are. Let's start with the one Selena just let go of. And the story behind it is wild. Selena Gomez purchased Tom Petty's former custom-built Encino mansion in March 2020 for approximately $895 million and listed it for sale in early May 2026 for $495 million. That's right, she lived in a house built by a rock legend. The home was custom-built in 1989 by Tom Petty and his first wife after an arson fire destroyed their previous residence on the site, and Petty lived there until his death in 2017, and this place was massive. It's roughly 11,483 square feet, a three-story contemporary home with 6 bedrooms and 10 bathrooms total, including 2 primary suites. The features read like a wish list. There's a skylit living room with a dramatic 2-story stone fireplace, a wine cellar, gym, massage room, sauna, and even a vocal recording booth, a remnant of Petty's old studio. Outside, a cascading rock waterfall and stream flowing into a raised spa and freeform pool. And here's a fun piece of trivia. Gomez used the kitchen for filming early seasons of her HBO Max series, Selena plus Chef. So if you ever watched that show, you were peeking inside Tom Petty's old kitchen the whole time. Why sell now? Simple. It's described as priced to sell after she and husband Benny Blanco purchased the $35 million Beverly Hills marital home. When you've got a new dream home, you don't need the old one. And as of mid-2026, it remains actively listed with no confirmed sale reported. If she gets close to asking, it's a tidy profit on a house she bought for under $5 million. But not every house in her portfolio is for sale. Some are sacred. Selena purchased a single-family home in Woodland Hills in 2017 for $18 million. And it's still owned by her and reportedly occupied by her mother and stepfather. That's the kind of detail that tells you what matters to her. She bought her family a home and kept it. It's roughly 3,500 square feet, 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms, built around 1949 on about half an acre, with a pool, fire pit, and outdoor kitchen. It's described as charming and comfortable rather than ultra-opulent like her other estates. A home, not a trophy. Now let's rewind to the very beginning of her real estate journey, to her so-called first dream house. Selena purchased a mansion at 4,649 St. Laurent Court in the gated Montserrat community in Fort Worth, Texas, in late 2015 for approximately $35 million, calling it her first dream house. It was meant as a place to stay near her family in the Grand Prairie area, and what a house it was. Over 10,000 square feet, built in 2005 to evoke southern French chateau, with 5 bedrooms and a saltwater pool with a water slide. It even had an 8-seat movie theater with a candy bar, a favorite for Gomez and her family, a candy bar inside your own private theater. Now that's living. But the dream house didn't last. She listed it starting in 2016, and it sold in October 2018 for about $27 million after roughly 2 years on the market. She reportedly spent limited time there, mostly holidays, due to her busy schedule. Sometimes the dream house just doesn't fit the life you're actually living. She took a loss and moved on. Now let's talk about Benny's side of the property web, because the man was building his own collection long before he ever met Selena. Benny purchased a Spanish modern bungalow in the Beverly Grove neighborhood in January 2019 for $234 million, a roughly 20 square foot home with 3 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms that had been fully renovated in 2018. It features a designer kitchen with a large quartz island and a high-end Bertazzoni range, plus a sleek new swimming pool in the backyard. Smaller, more intimate, but still seriously stylish. But his crown jewel before Selena was a different home entirely. His West Hollywood area estate, sometimes called Casa Blanco, was bought in 2019 for around $9 million and featured in Architectural Digest. It's roughly 600 square feet, a 1939-built estate renovated with designers, with a guesthouse movie theater featuring velvet tufted walls and a primary suite with a Mariah Carey-inspired dressing room. Only Benny, and he sold off the rest as life changed. He had an NYC Chelsea condo he owned for around 14 years before selling it for $36 million around 2025. But not every story here has a happy ending. Benny also had a Malibu beach cottage bought in 2018 for around $44 million, an oceanfront 10-square-foot home that was destroyed in the 2025 Palisades fire. A reminder that even the wealthy aren't untouchable. Some losses money can't undo, so step back and look at the whole picture. A consolidated $35 million flagship in Beverly Hills, a Tom Petty mansion on the market, a family home kept safe in Woodland Hills, a first dream house in Texas, sold and remembered, Benny's stylish bungalow and his Architectural Digest showpiece, and a beach cottage lost to fire. Their portfolio reflects a mix of historic and Spanish Revival luxury, creative and entertainment spaces, and family-oriented homes, with the Beverly Hills estate standing out as their flagship shared luxury residence. And that brings us all the way back to where we started, that quiet street, those tall gates, that hand-painted dome ceiling, and that little glass greenhouse where a billion-dollar hitmaker grows his plants. Because at the end of the day, this isn't really a story about $35 million. It's a story about two people who built two empires, fell in love over first-date shrimp, got married in slippers and Ralph Lauren, and chose one historic house out of all of them to finally call home. Here's the question I'll leave you with. Out of every room, every pool, every theater, and every greenhouse, which feature would you want most? And do you think this is the house they grow old in? Or just the latest chapter in a portfolio that never stops growing? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Love this video? Click on this card for more.